endorsed Marianne Williamson's book called A Return to Love, Reflections on the Principles of A Course in Miracles. Oprah sent this book about the Course in Miracles into orbit. It was on the bestseller list at #1 for like 35 weeks on the New York Times bestseller list. So you have an Antichrist teaching. It was 3 volumes, and they've now got it all compact in one. An Antichrist teaching that occupied the #1 spot on the New York Times bestseller list, and most people don't even know about it. And I'm not trying to give you a hard time, but it's like 2 Corinthians 2:11, lest Satan get an advantage of us for not ignorant of his devices. Folks, the church has become largely ignorant of a lot of what's come into the church. And part of it is because Christian leaders are not sounding the alarm. 1 Corinthians 14:8, if the trumpet gives an uncertain sound, who shall prepare himself for the battle? Now, I did an update on a radio station maybe back, 2002. It was a 15-minute, 20-minute show. And at the break, the announcer said, "Whoa, New Age, I thought it went away." Well, we're back just a minute with Warren Smith. The New Age folks never went away. And it was a lot more than horoscopes and Shirley MacLaine dancing on a beach. These are Antichrist teachings. I'm going to give you these teachings that I believe because I had no Bible background. I just accepted them. Why? Because a lot of circumstances made me think that God was bringing these teachings to me. Listen to these and just the severity of them. This is conditioning for a future Antichrist, a Christ who will come in the name of Christ, but who will oppose Christ, Antichrist. And if that sounds like I'm getting a little bit kind of like, really exaggerating, Oprah Winfrey is perhaps the chief false prophet in the world. It's amazing. Algerian women watch her program. I've been in Barnes & Noble when people will come in the store. What was that book that Oprah just advertised on TV? And I've watched through the years as almost every major New Age teacher has had their book introduced oftentimes and made into a bestseller by Oprah's Golden Touch. Listen to these teachings supposedly from Jesus Christ. The journey to the cross should be the last useless journey. A slain Christ has no meaning. Do not make the pathetic error of clinging to the old rugged cross. The recognition of God is the recognition of yourself, God in everyone. Is Jesus the Christ? He's asked. Oh yes, along with you. See, if we're all Christ, then we're all divine, then we're all connected, we're all one. And we're back to the oneness. We heard about the oneness Pentecostal theology. We heard about Genesis 11. Now that this people is one and they have one language, there's nothing that can be restrained from their imagination. Oneness is the name of the game. The New Age is preaching oneness. They actually, in the Course in Miracles, talk about it as the ark of oneness. In other words, the thing that's going to save us from all these things that are happening in the world, all these things that are impinging upon individual lives and our families and our countries, it's going to be saved by everybody acknowledging that we're all one, that we're all God, and because we're all God, it's argued, we can recreate the future. In other words, we don't have to have Armageddon. We don't have to have the book of Revelation. We can do whatever we want. We can change the rules because after all, hardy har har, we're God.